Okay, so this is an interview about changes in environmentalism in someone's lifetime. So I'm going to go ahead and have you introduce yourself.
My name is Sandy Ottenwiller.
Okay. And then give us a little bit about how old you are, when you were born, and then also like where you're from, just a little background information.
Okay. I was born in New Haven, Indiana, and I lived out in the country, east of New Haven. And I was born in the summer in August 14, 1942. So I'm actually 74 years old.
You don't look it. You
Well,
look good.
thank you. I
You're
feel
welcome.
good. I've been blessed.
Good. All right. So the first question is, what are your thoughts on nature and the environment today compared to when you were younger? So just kind of how the environment has changed from when you were younger to today.
Okay, well, I remember when we were younger and we lived out in the country, like I say, the summers would get so hot. We would actually bring some blankets and sheets down and we would lay underneath the trees because it would be so hot just to
Mhm.
get some fresh air and a breeze.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the winter times, it would be so cold, but a lot of snow. So we loved it because we'd go sledding. We really enjoyed the winters. Well, now I don't see that. Our winters aren't as severe, and even the summers aren't like they used to be.
So a little less extreme on both
Less,
ends of the.
yes, definitely. Hmm.
All right. How has the world changed since you were a child, like as in technology, or like health or the environment, anything like that?
Well, in in technology, I would have to say it's unbelievable how it has changed. And I mean, I can't keep up with it
Mm-hmm.
because of all the high tech, the computers, the iPhones, all that. And in a way, it's a good thing, but in a way, it isn't a good thing because, like when I grew up, we played outside, we interacted with each other, we interacted with people. Or
Mm-hmm.
now these young kids, in fact, they'll be with their families, and you go into a restaurant and you see this little 3-year-old playing on this little phone. It's like, hello, the families don't seem to talk to one another, and I feel sad that that's kind of like just went by the wayside because you need that interaction with the people.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you talk about, did you say the weather or the what?
Like maybe health or the
Oh, health
environment.
wise, yes. And this is a scary thing because now when I grew up, hardly anyone ever had cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's so much of it, it makes me wonder why, what's going on in our world. There has
Yeah.
to be something going on because when I grew up, my parents, my grandparents, no one had that. But now everyone seems to have it. Now the question is why?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. I hope they figure that out.
I hope they do too.
What do you think that we can do to make this world a better place?
Well, I think we need to, um, well, for one thing we could do is, oh, I can't think of the word, uh, where you recycle.
Mm.
Definitely need to recycle because they say there's so much garbage and that's, and that the pollution is just
Mhm.
unbelievable. So if we all would start recycling, that should help that situation.
Yeah. So start with the small things.
Yeah, start with the small things and then just kind of work up. Oh, like for instance, when I was canoeing, it was canoeing trip, I should say, I'll rephrase
Mhm.
that. Well, it was a few years ago. I went with some friends, and they had these young kids, and I think they belonged to 4-H,
Mm.
and we went like on a camping trip.
Mhm.
And so we camped, and then one of the things we were going to do was we cleaned up the campground, and then we also all got in canoes. And I said, "Oh, I've never been in a canoe but once," and then I tipped it, and I said, "Oh, it'll be all right." So it was shallow, so I wasn't really too
Mhm.
nervous. But we got it, so we all went in the canoes, and we clean the path, the canoe, not the canoe, but the,
Along the river.
yes, along the river. Unbelievable. Broken glass, cans, garbage, all of this was thrown in our rivers.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's not good. So they said if everybody could do this, start cleaning up our rivers, it would be so much healthier for our environment, for our world.
Yeah, if everyone just gave a little bit of their time and
Yes,
help out,
you know?
it will make a big difference.
Yeah, and I do like if I'm at a park or something, I see somebody's discarded something, I definitely pick it up and throw it in the garbage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. The next question would be, who do you think is more responsible for pollution? Kind of like individual people, or like industries, or maybe the government, and then explain your answer.
Well, that's kind of a tough one. But probably, I would say maybe industry. Because, we do have these factories, and I understand we have to have these factories because, everyone needs a job.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they need to maybe have tighter pollution laws on them,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know, and then maybe the government need to step in to do that. I don't know for sure, what,
Yeah.
but at this point, I guess I would say maybe the industry needs to do a little bit more with that.
Mm-hmm. Find a way to clean it up a little bit.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes.
Let's see, the next one. How can we protect the environment and at the same time improve people's standard of living?
Well, that's kind of a tough one also.
Yeah.
We have to protect the environment and improve our standard of living. Well, what do you think on that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we all want to live better lives. So I think one of the things what we can do is stop the chemicals on the yards. There are so many people, and because I live in a subdivision, and when these people have these people come out and spray their yards with all these chemicals,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I'm sitting outdoors, it just about overwhelms me.
Yeah.
Now, I know that is not good for the environment or for us.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the companies say, oh, no, it won't hurt you. But yet, have you ever seen anybody when they're working on their lawns, they got boots up to their knees and they got rubber gloves, okay? Well, why do they have that on
Yeah.
if it's not gonna hurt them?
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think that is. Same way, I think like possibly the farmers with, the chemicals maybe they use on their crops.
Yeah, like pesticides, and there's a big thing about
exactly.
that.
Because just the other day I heard where there's Roundup, they have finally found that it is a carcinogen, so it does create cancer.
Hmm.
So we have to really look into that and keep an eye on that.
Yeah. I know it's changed a lot about like, who has the best yard and
Yes.
how many chemicals can I put on my yard to make it look the greenest and the grass grow the best, and
Exactly.
just let nature.
Yeah, just
make
let
the
nature,
grass
like
look
just
good.
water your grass if you want, cut your grass,
Mhm.
just let nature take over.
Yeah.
Because that's what we used to do, and we had green grass. We
Yeah.
didn't, but that's the thing is going back to like you say, everybody wants to have the best grass.
Mhm.
Hello, well, do you want to be healthy or just
Yeah.
have that grass looking good?
Exactly. Do you think overpopulation is an important environmental issue, and do you think it's a problem? And then why or why not?
Overpopulation, right now, I've never heard where the United States, has this problem.
Mm-hmm.
I know in China they say that it's a huge problem because there's so many people, and I suppose why it could be a big problem is because you have more cars and the gas and all the
Mhm.
fumes and so on and so on. That may create the problem, but I think in the United States we're probably still okay with overpopulation.
Okay. Do you think global warming is a real issue, and how has it changed through the years? So maybe like, was it an issue when you were younger, do you know, or growing up, or has it really changed in the past years?
When I grew up, that really was never brought up much, and I honestly can feel that I don't think it was an issue
Mm-hmm.
because, like I said, we had cold winters, we had hot summers, but now it's becoming a huge issue because just the other day I'd seen on a television program where these like polar bears that need this cold and the ice, and it's the icebergs and things are starting to melt.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, these bears, they have to survive with all this cold and this ice, and so it's definitely created a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems to be getting worse and worse. So this is why I do believe we need to do something about it. I mean, we need to be aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. The last question we'll have for today is, how have cars changed over the years to help the environment? Um, like, so cars when you were younger, what can you remember about those? Now, even like the fancy cars that they have now, how has that changed?
Okay. Well, in the older days, I remember the cars were, well, they were, usually gas, and sometimes there would be a lot of smoke coming out. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I guess the muffler didn't always work correctly.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but sometimes you'd see that. Where nowadays, I think, well, they have, oh gosh, they have all these newer developed things such as, oh, what is that? Your transmission, that's improved.
Mm-hmm.
Your mission control, I guess. Uh,
Catalytic converter,
Catalytic
yeah.
converter. I mean, so that's all improved in the automobiles. In fact, now they even have some that are gas instead of, or not gas, excuse me, electric. So
Yeah.
that would be better too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think our automobiles have definitely improved over the years.
Yes. So now if they could just make the electric ones cheaper, where we can all
Yeah.
buy them, that
Well,
would
we
be
can
better.
afford it. Wouldn't that be great? Yes.
Yes. Yes. All right, Sandy. Well, thank you for talking with me today. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right.